But here's the matter is that I'm fat, and I'm fat because I like food. What's good, everybody? Larry here at Iron Heaven Gym. Last week of Ramadan, right? So the training is still going to continue. The priming phase is still going to continue. Setting us up for our next block of training. So everything's everything right now. But I'm hopping on today to not only share what I'm doing this week. It's a slight variation time-wise with the priming phase, but also something that, okay, I'm gonna be quite frank with you. This is probably the most transparent that I've been on YouTube, for the simple fact that I normally don't show how I look on YouTube. I usually reserve that for other social media, and I haven't done it in a while. But I'm gonna do it today because I think it's very important that a lot of people understand that where they're at, there's always room for improvement, right? So let's get right to the crux of the matter. I am fat. When I went to a nutrition store that I frequent here in Omaha by the name of Rexius Nutrition, there's a tool there that measures body fat. It's called the InBody, I think. So it's a very simple measurement. A very simple tool to use that measures your body fat via bare feet, skeletal muscle mass, all that good stuff. Apparently it's pretty spot on, so I'm going to take it as gospel for right now. I don't really get into calipers or anything like that, although I will at some point. I just really don't do it right now. I am at 25% body fat, which I knew I was above 15, but 25, I was like, ooh, that even made me like, oh, you're fat. So right now I weigh, after a complete day of fasting, we're talking within the waning hours of the day, 250.4 pounds. My lean body mass is under 200. I'm not gonna say a number because it's quite embarrassing. But here's the matter is that I'm fat, and I'm fat because I like food. Now I know probably some people looking at the title, because I've titled this, I'm fat and more than likely you are too. It's not to shit on anybody or anything like that. It's that you know you have something to work on, right? Physically, you may not like how you look. I know I like the fullness of how I looked. I like the strength and all that, but I know deep down inside, like, something was nagging me. You know, I follow a lot of bodybuilders on Instagram and on social media, and everyone's getting shredded for shows. And while I'm not in the market for a show right now, I'd like to be in the market sometime next year. So when I saw that 25% number, it's like, okay, well, we need to set ourselves up for next year, because this year is absolutely out of the question, especially with a baby on the way. So if you know you're fat and you want to fix it, then you're gonna have to make a conscious effort to fix it. I know I'm not at a place numbers wise and physically where I'd like to be, so I have to improve that. Hopefully you're at that place where it's like, okay, enough's enough, but if you're not, don't beat yourself up over it, but also know you're not gonna improve. So in any event, we're going to continue with this priming phase. We're going to let it blast us into a fat loss phase. Another thing that I did is that I purchased from Mountain Dog Diet, I purchased the Unity, which is a collaboration between Dave Tate and John Meadows, and I was going to use it for my fat loss phase, but upon reading the program and then upon listening to I believe his name is Ben Pollack, world-class powerlifter, hopefully soon to be champion bodybuilder, or maybe an IFBB pro by the end of this year, who knows. It's off season. So with that being said, I had to dive into my emails and get an old school Meadows program by the name of Doomsday, and I'll be rocking with that for the next 16 weeks. Now you're probably asking yourself too, maybe, I don't know. No one asked me shit, so whatever. Why am I using a Meadows program instead of my own programming or a Renaissance periodization program? All of that's well and good. The reason I'm not using my own program is because I leave myself too much room for error. I can, but I'll end up overtraining myself, right? And I'll end up giving myself too many excuses as to, substituting movements and this, that, and other. I have a program out in front of me. I will follow it. I will follow it almost to a T, at nagging aches and pains, notwithstanding. But I will follow that program to a T, which is why I didn't write my own priming phase, which is why I didn't really write my own incomplete rest method. Someone else wrote it for me, and I'm using that. So, but in any event, that's where I'm at right now, and that's what we got to do. So we're gonna work hard today, and I think I threw some pictures up. I'm not too sure, but if I don't have them up, they'll be up. But that's how I'm looking right now, and Ramadan's about to be over. So my wife's gonna treat me to a big meal to kind of signify that the month is over, and I'm going to enjoy it. But for the most part, I'll be pretty locked in on a diet, still crafting it out, and I have a tool that I'll talk about probably in a future video. But as it stands right now, guys, let's get to work. I'm chunky and I know it. But in any event, let's go. All right, rest period is down to 40 seconds from 50 seconds last week. So try a set of dumbbell laterals, lat pull downs, and glute raises. Good to get the heart rate up, get us set for the work that's about to come through. So it's pretty late, 10:57. So got to get to work, because even though I'm off, I still have someone to go home to, and I still need to eat. So let's get moving. I'm not going to go too deep into the giant set section, but I will emphasize that the rest periods did go down. So if you just started to kind of follow along with this, 1 second in the contracted position, 3 second negative, and we do that for 12 reps each exercise. We have 3 exercises in a row. This is the first dumbbell laterals. Did about 25 pounds here. I believe it was 20 pounds. Don't want to go too heavy on these because you don't want to gas yourself out. The important thing is the rounds and contraction. Second was a neutral grip pull down, and then the third was a glute bridge. So nothing super crazy with this. We did 3 rounds, and you definitely want to make sure you hold that contraction for a second, as you can see right there in the lat pull down. This really woke up my back, really woke up my body, actually getting ready for the work that's to occur. But that's how we start off these priming sessions with a giant set. Now it dropped to 40 seconds today, the rest period between each exercise. Next week is going to go to 30. So definitely going to have to pick up the pace a little bit and really work hard to get those reps in, and really work hard to make sure I'm holding that contraction. So that's the more difficult part, is holding that contraction, especially when you get to an exercise like the glute bridge, which isn't a very strong exercise for me in general. So as you can see, I kind of progressed up on the weight. That was probably a bit of a mistake, but in any event, did what I could, and strove for a full range of motion and a strong contraction just to be able to kick things off. over. Heart rate's elevated a little bit. Broke a little bit of a sweat. So now we're gonna continue on. We got a giant, or a superset rather, of stiff leg deadlifts, slight incline dumbbell press. Time goes up to 35 minutes. So 3-second negative, 4 reps, contraction at the top, at least for the dumbbell press. And we're just gonna work really hard for 35 minutes. We're gonna set the timer and we're just gonna get lost in it. So it's what it's gonna take. You know, I got a little bit of weight I need to pull off to make myself pretty insulin sensitive, pull back on carbs a bit, but you know, everything's a drop in the lake right now. So just like it wasn't overnight for me to accumulate this, it's not going to be overnight to get rid of it. So we'll look at about a 16, maybe 20 week cut, at least until the little one gets here, and then we'll reassess. So I don't know, but I know at least for 16 weeks. So let's get banging.
If they want the smoke, then yeah, it's no jokes, boy, it's up. In the end zone, that's a TD, we finessing chub. Filling up the stat sheets and they knowing that's a plus. Back to back, highlight plays, all my moves is tough. Watch them all die out, I've been killing with my looks. Feeling like a pro, I've been schooling all these rugs. They be betting all us, calling plays out the books. Little bit of prayer, hard work, that's all it took. All I want, W's and bankrolls, that's all I want, that's all I want. W's and bankrolls, that's all I want.
Hey, all I want is money, power, respect, though. Can I take our foot up off they necks? No. I saw the door, yeah, we next, bro. Do not call my phone, send a text.
Okay, you'll hear me mention at some point that while it didn't take overnight to achieve all of this fat gain that I have, it's not going to be overnight to get rid of it. So I don't want anybody to think that I'm coming at them, or, you know, please don't get in your feelings over the way that this is titled, but it is the truth. Me, as somebody who has a halfway decent physique with muscles, right? You know, got a little, you've seen the pictures, I got a little excess stuff around the waist that need to fix, right? The main thing that we tell ourselves when we need to improve, or we need to lose weight, or, you know, we need to read that book, or we need to, I'm not even gonna say start that business, because that's overused and cliche term or terminology. But whenever we need to do something, we will talk ourselves out of it, right? And we know we need to do it. In my case, I know I need to diet. In your case, it's probably, you know, you need to save money. It may be, you know, you need to read that book so you can start on a particular path that you're seeking. But in any event, what I'm trying to get it across is to not use excuses and look yourself in the mirror. So how do we lose weight? The first thing we have to account for is our daily calorie intake, right? Calories in versus calories out. That's not the only way to skin a cat, but it's probably the best way to skin a cat. And then you have to understand that your mode of trying to lose weight, you should probably go on a plan that you can track and monitor and periodize. Yes, it will be boring, but also at the same time, that's what's going to yield probably the best results for you, for the simple fact that it's something that you could progress on. I see everybody on Peloton bikes and all that, and that's all well and good. Please don't get me wrong. I definitely want a Peloton for my cardio. But also at the same time, you have to understand that cardio is not something that can be periodized all the time. So definitely want to get in some weight training sessions, and you want to get in this gym, and you want to lift this iron and steel and whatever. And then on top of that as well, you want to make sure you're doing smart food choices, and you also want to make sure that you're recovering. You know, there's a lot more nuanced stuff when it comes to body composition, but those are just some of the general things that I like to communicate to people. Also, keep in mind, this isn't a complete list of what you need to look out for body composition. Some resources that I like is the Shredded ebook by Justin Harris, Troponin Nutrition, the Renaissance Diet 2.0, Adjusting Meal Plans Made Easy by John Meadows. And if all of that is a little bit too daunting for you, if you don't want to learn how to self-coach, or you're just completely clueless about diet, get some of those resources or get a coach. Very simple, very simple. Lots of resources out here for people to improve. And also, when we go on a body composition or recomp or whatever, be real with yourself. I'm doing this for show purposes, and I want to improve the way I look. You don't do this to get back at another person or any type of thing that will mask up insecurity. If you don't feel good about yourself, just know you have the power to change it, right? Well, I guess that is masking up an insecurity. So there you go. All right, guys, really good one today. Real good one. Some adaptation is taking place. I have been keeping up with the numbers here, and I beat my session last week by 2 rounds. So happy with what's going on. Anything pushing is not my strength. Pulling is more my strength. But we're working at it. But slowly, that adaptation is going to take place. Next week is the last week of the priming phase. I had to restart due to some family issues. But everything seems to be clicking. So the body recomp has to happen. It has to happen. When you get over a certain range of body fat, you can't utilize nutrients to repair, and your body just gets really inflamed, and it's just a cascade of stuff. Now, that's not to say you just lose weight and everything will be fixed. No, it's other stuff that needs to go on as well. Everyone's different, right? So for some, you may have a health issue that prevents you from losing body fat. You may have some other issues going on, or some hormonal. So please don't take offense to me saying I'm fat and you may be too. Like, everyone's a little bit different. So you have to find out the reason why you're physically at the spot that you don't want to be in. And then from that, figure out how you're going to claw your way up out of that. If you don't want to, that's absolutely fine too. That's absolutely fine. I mean, the gym, working out, all of that ain't for everybody. Some people just like eating good food and let the chips fall where they may. That's all you know. But as far as I go, I semi like the way I look. But I have a whole lot of dad bod in effect that I need to trim up, especially if I'm going to do some shows next year. So with that being said, I'm out. Again, please don't take offense to what I say. I just want everyone to know that if you don't like the way you look and you don't like the way you feel, you absolutely have the power to change that. Again, if you don't, that's totally fine. That's really up to you. No one can force you to do it. But take charge of your physical while you can. Because we only have this body that's allowed to us for a certain amount of time. So if you're trying to take care of it, take care of it. All right? Please like and subscribe to the channel. I'm really glad that you're following along with this. Again, Ramadan's almost over. So we're going to we may have 1 or 2 more days. I'll know more tomorrow. But with that being said, y'all have a good night, and I'll check back with you next time. I'm out.